Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this, the last of our series celebrating social marketing's 50th birthday. And what a way to celebrate that birthday, but with the social marketer of the world. I am, of course, talking about Professor Philip Kotler, who joins us for a unique interview looking at social marketing over the next 50 years to come. Philip, thank you for joining us. We are delighted to hear from you about your unique insights that will help us look forward as well to the next 50 years of social marketing. So we're going to start with one of three questions. So my first question, Philip, is to hear from you about what you see as the barriers or the difficulties facing social marketing over the next 50 years.
Yes, thank you, Christine, and I'm very much looking forward to answering all three of your questions. And regarding the barriers, there are several. One is perhaps a confusion between the word social marketing and social media marketing. So some people don't get the right sense that this is not only about the society and marketing, but it's really a methodology that has been developed to help people improve their own lives, really. Now, it turns out that social marketing should have been probably named social cause marketing, just to emphasize that it deals with social causes and improving on them. But in any case, another barrier, besides misunderstanding of the meaning of the term, is the funding problem. To do research on social marketing tools and cases, you need to set up experiments. You need to attract people who will be willing to experience something where you're going to do the findings, and getting funds is very hard. If you get the funds and do a wonderful project which reveals what can really work on Say No to Drugs or some other campaign, you want even some money to distribute the findings. Fortunately, we have a quarterly social marketing magazine, and that's one place to put the findings. But it is hard to circulate it in the major media and get attention. I don't think we've had any cases of great findings in social marketing that has hit headlines, and maybe we have to put more time into that. So we can do much more if we had good backing from people who want to see more progress made in the field of social marketing.
Next question then, Philip, goes to looking forward in a more positive sense. So what do you see as the top three enablers or the top three drivers for social marketing over the next 50 years?
Well, the social problems are very numerous today. They are going to be around forever, I suppose. Poverty, homelessness, alcoholism, and so on. So that's in a sense good news for social marketing, because there'll be things to do. But we wish we could eliminate any problems and do something else with all of our time. I think another thing is that more courses are being taught on social marketing in two places: business schools as part of the marketing curriculum, and public health organizations, which of course want to use these tools. We are trying to make more inroads on major institutions. Wouldn't it be nice if the United Nations hired some social marketers in some of their divisions that have to do with helping people's lives improve? And I'm thinking also of the World Bank and also the major health organizations in the world. There are several major ones. Our country, the U.S. has a huge group that takes care of our public health. And that would be very helpful in expediting interest. I think that we are lucky in having a number of books written about social marketing, because there are some views that may vary in good research and good distribution of the findings. Mm-hmm. So I can count 5 or 6 books right now, which didn't, at one time there was only one that existed about social marketing. So those are factors that are favoring the growth of social marketing around the world.
And I believe, Philip, that you along with Nancy Lee have a new book coming out yourself, talking to 100 best cases in social marketing. Thank you.
The book is called Successes in Social Marketing, 100 Cases from Around the World. Now, there are more than 100. Nancy and I made a choice among a couple of hundreds of cases. Each case is briefly explained, but fully referenced. So it's a good starting point. One of the things that any social marketer studying a problem, let's say like teenage drinking or teenage bullying, look up the literature on that. Don't start fresh and say, well, our bullying problem in our country is different than other ones. No, why not always start framing your problem by reading studies that have been done of the same problem. In fact, we're going to eventually see a whole book on bullying, probably based on all the findings when we study the subject, and another book on drugs. So things like that. That would help.
It's a good to somebody coming to the field new, and even to experts, not to reinvent the wheel, to look at what is already there.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing that book, Philip. And my last question goes to your deepest wish for social marketing over the next 50 years. Your deepest wish or dream for social marketing.
Well, I think it would be a wonderful thing if we show how it works and how it worked on some major problems. For example, we are in the COVID period now. If COVID had been conquered by work on social marketing, namely, if we used it to get everyone to wear a mask and get vaccinated, we could take the credit to have helped in that cause. Yes. Unfortunately, what the COVID problem revealed is how difficult it is sometimes to even change a person's behavior, because if it's rooted in their ideology deeply, and these are people subject to misinformation and disinformation, like namely that COVID puts in your head a chip which will make you think a certain way, or that it will affect your autism, may cause autism. All this disinformation meant that we learned a lot, but we had to be into truth and fighting disinformation, let alone telling people why these are healthy steps to take for their own longevity. Now, in time, even with COVID, the evidence is so clear that the people who are dying are those who don't get vaccinated. Even that doesn't convince people enough, but we will have problems like that. So when I look at the future, wouldn't it be wonderful if when the next big problem comes along, or one of them, that social marketing figures to play such an important role that it gets the headlines? That's going to make a big difference. But I can tell you with the next big problem is after COVID. The next big problem is already here, and it's climate change. I call these the 2 C's. And climate change is to get people to be reducing their consumption, or at least being saner consumers rather than extravagant consumers. Because the more we create in the way of goods, and the more carbon we generate, and we just facilitate the heating up of the planet. And then everyone at the equator will find it unlivable, and they will rush to Europe or other places where it will be cool. And that is a scenario we don't want. And so I think social marketers in the next several years should work very much with all the other groups. And fortunately, there are wonderful groups working on climate problems now, to join them. Maybe they don't know enough about our approaches, but let's put a lot of effort into climate change research by social marketing.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Some incredible advice and insights, and a way forward for all of us to reflect upon and also to embrace. Philip, I hope I can do justice to what your wishes are, working on climate change, introducing new courses, and broadcasting the benefits of social marketing so that social marketing can make a change and make the world a better place. Thank you, Philip, for joining us as part of our series. And in wishing happy birthday to social marketing, we wish a happy birthday to you as well for bringing social marketing to the world.
Thank you, Christine. Enjoyed very much talking to you, and keep up the good work.